My brother spent years stealing my achievements until I learned his one weakness. My older brother Daniel once told me that success was like oxygen on a mountain. There's only enough for one person at the top. I was 12 when he said this, right after my parents threw him a party for winning a science fair with my project about electromagnetic fields, the one I'd spent 3 months perfecting in our garage while he played video games upstairs. That was just the beginning. Daniel had this gift for taking credit without technically lying, always arriving at the perfect moment when parents or teachers were around, touching my work just enough to claim involvement. When I built the robot for the 8th grade showcase, he helped by holding a screwdriver for 30 seconds when Dad walked in, then spent an hour explaining our project to the judges. When I wrote code for a school website, he added his name to the comment section and told everyone we were partners. My parents, desperate to see their sons getting along after years of fighting, celebrated what they called our wonderful collaboration. By high school, he perfected his theft. He'd intercept my college counselor meetings, rescheduling his right after mine to present my project portfolio as his own. When I won a coding competition, he photoshopped the certificate with his name and submitted it for his college applications. He even dated my lab partner specifically to access our shared research, publishing it in the school journal under his name while I was hospitalized with appendicitis. The cruelest theft happened senior year. I developed an app for local food banks to coordinate donations, working with Mrs. Huang, who ran the biggest pantry in town. I'd spent 8 months on it, coding through nights, organizing with directors. Daniel was supposedly away, but came home just as Bloomberg wanted to feature young innovators. He locked me out of my own GitHub account the night before the interview, changed the repository ownership, and presented my code line by line to reporters. He used my app to get hired at a Fortune 500 company, a position that should have launched my career. That's when Mrs. Huang, a former psychology professor, pulled me aside. She noticed something during Daniel's Bloomberg interview, how he paused and looked up whenever recalling specifics, how his hands twitched when discussing technical details. Classic tells of deceptive cognition, she explained. She suggested I study these patterns, maybe use them strategically. So I watched him for 2 years, cataloging every tell. Daniel needed to be the smartest person in every room, but couldn't admit ignorance. He'd memorized surface details, but never understood the fundamentals. Most importantly, he panicked under specific technical questioning without prep time. Daniel was now a senior developer at his company, surrounded by our entire extended family, plus his girlfriend and her CEO father, who'd helped him get promoted. He was bragging about leading a revolutionary AI project that would transform the industry, throwing around terms like transformer architecture and attention mechanisms he'd clearly just memorized. That's when I asked casually if his transformer was using multi-head or single-head attention. He confidently said multi-head. I asked about his positional encoding strategy. He mentioned sinusoidal encoding. Then I asked how he was handling the quadratic memory complexity in his self-attention layers with sinusoidal encoding, knowing this combination would cause massive inefficiencies he couldn't possibly be using. He froze. His hands started twitching. His girlfriend's father, an actual tech CEO, leaned forward with sudden interest. I kept going, gently, asking about his tokenization approach, his embedding dimensions, whether he was using teacher forcing during training. Each question built on his previous wrong answers, creating an inescapable web of contradictions. Our cousin, a Google engineer, pulled out his laptop and started checking Daniel's LinkedIn. Hey Daniel, I can't find any of your published code. What's your GitHub? The room went silent. Daniel's face turned red as he stammered about proprietary restrictions. I helpfully offered to show everyone my GitHub instead, the one with the food bank app clearly dated 3 years ago, with commit histories showing thousands of hours of my work, including the presentation slides he'd used for Bloomberg. His girlfriend's father asked to see the actual code. When Daniel couldn't even navigate to the terminal on his laptop, the CEO turned to me. Did you really write this? When I live coded a new feature on the spot, explaining each line, the contrast was devastating. The humiliation compounded exponentially. His company launched an investigation the next Monday, finding he'd been outsourcing his work to freelancers using his inflated salary. Every family chat group buzzed with revelations, cousins sharing stories of Daniel's thefts they'd previously dismissed, the robot, the science fair, the school website, years of deception unraveling in days. The Bloomberg journalist, alerted by Mrs. Huang, published a follow-up story about tech industry fraud, featuring Daniel as the prime example. The article went viral on tech Twitter. His company didn't just fire him, they sued for damages. His girlfriend's father blacklisted him across the industry. Now Daniel works at our uncle's hardware store, earning hourly wages while I run my own startup, funded by the very CEO who exposed him.